welcome to Franklin Square, and welcome to the wedding of Carly and Joel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Leilani, and Carly is my very best friend. We've known each other for 14 years, and it's my great honor to be officiating this wedding day and joining her with her new best friend, Joel Pettit. Alright, so these two crazy kids have decided to commit themselves to new adventures, to share in all of life's incredible moments, and to help assist in making each other's dreams come true. And for good reason. These two have more fun together than they ever thought possible with another human being. And they're smart people, because once you find somebody who makes you deliriously happy, who makes every day of your life more adventurous, more enjoyable, more satisfying, you better damn well hold on to them. Robert Fulghum wrote, "We're all a little weird, and life is a little weird, and when we find someone whose weirdness is compatible with ours, we join up with them and fall into mutually satisfying weirdness and call it love. True love." And because these two weirdos love each other so much, they've decided to join together as husband and wife. And if you support them in getting hitched, can I hear a resounding cheer? So let's get this party started with a short reading from Joel's sister, Bethany.
All right. This is the story about the mayonnaise jar and 2 pints of beer. When things in your life seem almost too much to handle, when 24 hours in a day are not enough, remember the mayonnaise jar and 2 pints of beer. A professor stood before his philosophy class and had some items in front of him. When the class began, wordlessly he picked up a very large and empty mayonnaise jar and proceeded to fill it with golf balls. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was. The professor then picked up a box of pebbles, poured them into the jar. He looked at the jar and shook it lightly, and the pebbles rolled to the open areas between the golf balls. He then asked the students again if the jar was full. They agreed again that it was. The professor next picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. Of course, the sand filled up the rest of the space, and he asked once more if the jar was full, and the students responded with a unanimous yes. The professor then produced 2 pint glasses of beer from under the table and poured the contents both into the jar, effectively filling the empty space between the grains of sand. Students laughed. "Now," said the professor, as the laughter subsided, "I want you to recognize that this jar represents your life. The golf balls are the important things, your family, children, health, friends, and your favorite passions, things that, if everything else was lost and only they remained, would still keep your life full. The pebbles are the other things that matter, like your job, your house, and your car, and the sand is everything else, the small stuff. If you put the sand in the jar first," he continued, "there is no room for the pebbles or the golf balls. The same goes for life. If you spend all of your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the small things that are important to you. Pay attention to the things that are critical to your happiness. Play with your children, take time to get medical checkups, take your partner out to dinner, and play another 18 holes. There will always be time to clean the house and fix the leaky tap. Take care of the golf balls first, the things that really matter. Set your priorities, because the rest is just sand." One of the students raised her hand and inquired, "What did the beer represent?" The professor smiled. "I'm glad you asked. It goes to show that no matter how full your life may seem to be, there is always room for a couple of beers with a friend."
Bethany's reading reiterates how important it is to always choose who is most important to you in this world. Today, you are both choosing each other. You've chosen to be someone who enhances you. You've chosen to be with someone who enhances you, who makes you think, makes you smile, and makes each day brighter. You're about to make promises to each other that you intend to keep. You're going to vow to take care of each other, to stand up for each other, to find happiness in each other. You're teaming up and saying, every experience I'm going to have, I want it to be with you. Joel and Carly, do you promise to always stay by each other's side? Pledge to never say no to new experiences and to be spontaneous. To always keep an open mind and an eye on the horizon. To make every day an adventure filled with love and commitment. Do you pledge to continue to laugh at each other's jokes even when they are not funny? Most importantly, do you promise to remember that your love was founded on a great friendship? If you believe this, say we do. Then because you choose to walk this path together, I encourage you both to share your vows with each other. Carly, will you please share your promises with Joel?
Joel, I promise to love you through my sicknesses and your health, to never give up on working to better my own well-being because you are inspirationally good at working on yours. I promise to love you, respect you, support you, and make sure that when I am angry at you, it's not because I'm hungry or tired. I promise to fight by your side during the zombie apocalypse, and should you turn, let you bite me so we can be zombies together forever. I promise to hold off watching the next episode of our shows so that we can always watch them together, because The Walking Dead and fried chicken is an experience that needs to be shared. I promise you can always have my leftovers when I'm too full to finish them, and do the best I can to keep chips and salsa in the house at all times. I promise to not take things too seriously and relax when I'm not in charge, because some of the best things happen when you're in charge. I promise that this will always be a partnership and never a dictatorship, and to always giggle and make jokes with you when we hear words like dictatorship. I promise to never get annoyed when you pinch, grab, smack, poke, or tickle, as long as you promise to never stop doing it. I promise to always be up for new adventures and to try new things and open up new possibilities. I promise to always put us first, to be the Robin to your Batman, your partner in crime fighting, success, family.
Joel, will you please share your promises with Carly?
Yes. Carly, I promise to defend you to others, even if you're wrong. As competitive as I am, I promise not to keep score. Promise not to judge or ask you to change ways in ways that I wouldn't instill in myself. I promise to put your happiness as equal to mine or above mine, because happy wife, happy life.
That's right.
I promise to strive to meet your needs, not out of obligation, because I'm happy when you're happy. I promise to treat you with compassion over fairness, because we're a team now and always. I promise to be your comrade in adventure. I promise to persevere when times get tough, knowing that any challenges we might face, we're in it together, we can conquer that. And I'm also going to promise that I'm going to make sure I'm not hungry before I yell at you. And even if I am a little upset, I'll kiss you every night to go bed.
Pretty damn good promise. And now for the rings. Rings are a symbol of commitment and love. They are bits of gold, polished and pretty. But those things aren't what's important. They're solid and sturdy, like your relationship. They will endure many episodes of hand-holding, dishwashing, high-fiving, and even fist-bumping. One day you might even lose them, but it won't matter because the rings are not the most important thing you give to each other today. Rather, you're giving the promise of utter devotion, absolute trust, and total commitment. Joel, please take this ring and put it on Carly's hand and repeat after me. This ring is a symbol of everything in my heart.
This ring is a symbol of everything in my heart.
I give it to you with the promise
I give it to you with the promise
to be your partner in all things.
to be your partner in all things.
When you look at this ring, think of me
When you look at this ring, think of me,
and know that I will love you always.
and know that I will love you always.
Carly, please take this ring and put it on Joel's hand and repeat after me. This ring is a symbol of everything in my heart.
This ring is a symbol of everything in my heart.
I give it to you with the promise
I give it to you with the promise
to be your partner in all things.
to be your partner in all things.
When you look at this ring, think of me
When you look at this ring, think of me,
and know that I will love you always.
and know that I will love you.
It's no secret that Joel is a beer aficionado, and that Carly has become one too. So it's fitting that we use beer in a ritual at their wedding. And the best way to celebrate a happy occasion is to raise a toast, and there is no better time than now. Carly and Joel, will you please take your respective beers and pour a little into each glass? These beers are both very different, unique by themselves, but when combined together, they mix and create something special and unique. That is what both of you have done here today. And let this drink be a symbol of your love and the first toast to your happy life together. Like this beer, so should you share your lives. Every joy and happiness, overcoming each hurdle, always ready to raise a beer, to toast in celebration. Carly and Joel, here's to love, life, and happily ever after. And so, by the authority vested in me by the state of Louisiana, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Joel, can we kiss
All right.
Time to party.
I love you.
Okay, hold our hand up first. Ready? We did it! Yay!
We're so glad you could share it with us too.
All right.
Good
Check out
job.
everybody back here.